Being commandable is not a slight on your authority. Oh, see, here we go. This is going to be good. Being commandable is not a slight on your authority, but rather a light that shines on your maturity and your strength. We live in a society right now where if you got to take some commands, you feel that it shows weakness. We live in a society where if somebody has to get the understanding that somebody has a certain level of control or authority or command over them, they feel as though they are being belittled. They feel as though they are less than. To sit back, have to shut your mouth, open your ears, open your eyes, learn, be teachable, be coachable, and take a command also that God could get you to where it is that he wants for you to be, and in turn that you desire to be. All of it is to work out for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And you love him and you're called. So this is all for your benefit. But because we live in a day and time where flesh is consuming everybody, carnality is at the forefront of the mind of believers and non-believers. There are too many people who want to call themselves Christians, but you can't take no command. The whole premise of Christianity is based off of following the instruction of someone greater than ourselves. But yet we sit back and we act like God can't put people in our lives who are actually greater than us. They are further than us. Let me bring forth the reality to you. Baby, there is somebody that is walking this earth that God is going to use to help get you into your next, that right now is greater than you in the earth, that is more anointed, that is more powerful, that is more established, and you gotta accept it, learn so that you can go up. But if you are not coachable, if you sit back and you act like you can't never take a command because you think it is a slight on your strength, then you will constantly stay in a position of stagnation, going round and round and round and round and round. Hello, children of Israel, in a circle for no reason when you could have got exactly where God needed for you to be a long time ago. Stop missing the mark because you can't renew your heart. Stop missing the mark because you can't change the way that you deal with things. Stop missing the mark because you want to operate out of emotionalism, trauma, PTSD, and all other things that God says you have the power over. Because every single time that you act like you ain't got no value, you ain't got no power, you ain't got no authority, because you have to obey a command that is supposed to benefit your life. Whether you can see how it's going to benefit or not. Hello, faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I can't see it. That's the point of faith. Hello, somebody. Can somebody talk to me? Hello. That is the point of faith. I have to be able to trust in the God, in the person that is carrying me to my next level. Don't put your trust in man, put your trust in God. But when I know God is operating on the inside of you, I'm not putting my trust in you. I'm putting my trust on the God in you. Because I can see the fruits of the Spirit produced from the God on the inside of you. You're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. That's good. That's good. That is good. Are you following me? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back once again to another episode on Fourth Quarter Pressure, where clearly you already know you are always the more and never have been the lesser. If you are new and you are just now following the Fourth Quarter Pressure movement, you are just now tuning in to the Fourth Quarter Pressure podcast. If you are just now getting a glimpse and a taste of the Fourth Quarter Pressure ministry, welcome. Here at Fourth Quarter Pressure, the motto is that you really are always the more and never the lesser. And I am here divinely sent by God to be a part of your journey, to bring forth a message, a word of encouragement, a seed to be planted in you and in your spirit and in your life, to then sprout up and you shine like God intended for you to shine. You then begin to obtain the fruits of the spirit that you are meant to obtain. You have the knowledge, the wisdom, the insight. You have the courage, because every fourth quarter pressurizing situation that we face, we are not meant to succumb to it. We are meant to overcome. And I am here, CJ Stokely, as your host to help you do that. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you everything that you need, the artillery to add into your arsenal, in your spiritual bag, so that when you face the trials of life, the tribulations, the winds and the waves and the storms that you're going to come in contact with, you have everything that you need within you to be able to pull it out and walk forward with power like God has designed for us to do. So I hope that your weekend has gone well. We are back on a Monday right after Sunday Fun Day, and we're going to start the week off right. We're going to get all the information that we need. We're going to get the empowerment that we need. We're going to become excited if we're not already excited. We're going to become elated if we're not already elated about going through this week and becoming more and more and more of exactly who it is that God is calling us to be. Because at the end of the day, that is the goal. The goal has to be, how do I reach my purpose? How do I reach my destiny? What is it God's calling me to? How do I cultivate the necessary levels of spiritual maturity on the inside of me and wisdom and knowledge from God by way of the Holy Spirit, bringing revelation into my life, tapping into my gifts so that I could stand as a true kingdom ambassador, making an impact in the world, because God created us to bring glory to him. And how do we do that? Through our gifts, through the spiritual gifts that work through us, through the talents and the skills that we have, through the ministry that God has called us to, and us being obedient to that ministry. So welcome in. I'm excited to see you. Let's get this thing rocking. So first thing I must do before we go into anything is I must take a brief moment to stop and tell you about Glory Gear, which is the number one, not the number two, not the number three, but it's the number one made just for you and me. Christian clothing brand in the world. Hands down, it's the best. From east to west, from your feet to your chest. All of what you need that is attire you will be able to put on to dress to impress. I must confess that Glory Gear is the absolute best. The website is officialglorygear.com. Go over to the website, check out what's on the website, and get you some kingdom gear. Put on what you say you believe. Put on what other people will be able to look at and say, that is a kingdom ambassador. That is a member of God's kingdom. That's somebody who truly stands for something greater than themselves, because we walk the walk and we talk the talk, but you also got to know how to put it on, baby, if you get what I'm saying. So go over, check it out. And then of course, there's also something special that is offered. It is for the hey ladies. Something special for you. It's called Edgy Chick, where you're fine as wine, you're tough as nails, and you're ensuring you don't end up in hell, huh? We live in a generation and in a society today where the men and the women are all over the place. Things are chaotic. There is no humility, no honor, no morality, no integrity. And as a believer, as a woman of God, there is much more power than what you may know you have. There's much more power in you and in your impact in the earth. I believe they say that for every one man, there is 2 or 3 women. You guys exceed the population as it pertains to men and women in numbers. There's more women than men. So that means there is more of an ability for women to make an impact statistically. So if women can step up and start dressing to impress the kingdom of God, start representing God, start being bold and confident in the things that they put on and how they carry themselves, things in society, I believe, will begin to change drastically, because men won't be able to have certain levels of access. They won't be able to do certain things. The narrative of what is considered societal norms will not continue, because women will begin to carry themselves with a standard that for the men who are not already carrying themselves with a standard, they will then stand stand up in the position of leadership that they are supposed to stand up in. So for my queens, for my ladies, go over. It is called Edgy Chick. Again, finest wine, toughest nails. The website is officialglorygear.com. Again, officialglorygear.com. It is something nice, but with a little bit of spice. So go over, check it out. And after you check it out and you get you some, come back and talk to me. And after you talk to me, me and you can clock the T. So let's get ready to roll. Let's get right into this episode. So on this episode, I titled this Command What You Carry. Command what you carry. The reality of it is that there is a multitude of things in our lives that God has, is, and is going to place in our hands. There are gifts, there are talents, there are things that we possess individually, but then God also will bring forth individuals. He will bring forth certain things. He will make us authoritative individuals over a certain structure or a certain business or certain people in our lives that align with the purpose that he has for us. And when he does that, we have to be good stewards. When you carry something, you are stewarding this, especially when God puts it in your hands. So you have to get to a place where your desire on the inside is to step up to the plate as the leader that God has called you to be, and not shy away from commanding what you carry, because anything that God puts in your possession brings into your life for you to carry. If you do not have command over it, if you cannot command it, then you will not be able to successfully carry it the way that God is calling you to carry it, especially when we talk about individuals. There are individuals who, with us being human, it is hard for us at times to deal with individuals who are not willing to take our commands. But this is where your wisdom has to come into place. This is where discernment has to come into place. This is where God's instruction will come into place. And you have to decipher between, am I picking somebody who is commandable, or am I picking somebody who cannot take commands? Because anybody who comes into your life and is on the same path as what God intends for you to be on, and they are a fit for your life, God is going to use them in your life. God is going to use you all collectively to do something in the kingdom, and it all aligns with his plan and his direction. Then you have to be able to be someone in that individual's life who is coming to help you, to support you, to walk this thing out with you. You have to be somebody who is able to command. Now, what is the command based off of? The command is based off of what is righteous. The command is based off of what is pure. The command is based off of what is holistic. The command is based off of what is biblical. See, the misconception that people have, and where a lot of individuals go wrong, is that they stand in a position of command, but they are commanding improperly. And now there is the frustration that we deal with as individuals who walk in positions of authority, when somebody that we are trying to command, or something, or a multitude of things that we are responsible for carrying and we are trying to command over, is not responding to our commands the proper way. But it is because sometimes we are not commanding the right way. Sometimes the commands that we give are not moral. Sometimes the commands that we give are not holistic and righteous and biblical, because it is possible in our humanistic form, in us being carnal, in us being flesh, it is possible to get to a place where, because you are in a position of authority, you can now allow for your flesh to usurp your spirit, and now you are doing things out of your flesh and abusing your authority. And now you have made it harder for those individuals who God has brought into your life and partnered with you, and the things that God has given you. You have made it harder for yourself to be able to have a solid command and effective command over. So you have to shift yourself to a place where you say, okay, everything that God has given me to steward, whether it be people, things, whatever it is, businesses, anything that God has placed within my hands to carry, I'm going to step up to the plate and not only command, but I'm going to command the way that God would like for me to command. Are you with me? So let's rock. I got 4 points for you. I'm going to try to get you out of here real quick. I got 4 points for you. Point number one: You cannot successfully carry what you cannot command. There is no success in carrying something lest you have command over it. Because when you carry something, you don't know where you're going to be carrying it until it's revealed. Oh, this finna be good. You're not following what I'm saying. When God gives you something to carry, sometimes you will be in a season in your life where you are possessing it, you are obtaining it, you are carrying it, but you don't know the direction. And the only way for you to be able to get the direction is by way of the Holy Spirit. It is by way of God revealing it to you. It is by way of God showing you, I need you to carry this here. I need you to carry this there. And if you do not have the ability to command what you are carrying, then what you are carrying will try to get away instead of going towards what it is that God is telling you to go towards. In order to have something that you can carry, the direction that God is calling you to carry it, there must be a level of submission. There must be a level of obedience. There must be a level of respect. There must be a level of honor. There must be structure within what you are carrying. And so if you are going to carry your talent, if you're going to carry your skills, if you're going to carry your abilities, if you're going to carry your gifts, if you have this purpose on the inside of you, then you, even as an individual, have to battle within yourself to make sure you are always staying in the spirit so that you can carry what you have on the inside of you successfully. Because if you do not beat your flesh into submission, then you will be the culprit. You will be the one responsible yourself for shifting over into your flesh, not staying in your spirit, and then producing the lack of ability to successfully carry what God has given you because you can't even command yourself. Are you following what I'm saying? When God gives you these different things, when God places different people in your life, different relationships, whether it be intimate or friendships, you are called to be a leader. And since you are called to be a leader, you now have to walk down the path that God is calling you to walk down. And with walking down that path, if God has placed these people in your life, then you have to be able to carry the responsibility. You have to be able to carry the weight of being a leader in each and every involvement that you come in contact with, whether it be on the job, whether it be in the friendship, whether it be intimately. There is a responsibility on you to carry certain things that is in connection with the things and the people that God places in your life. And if you are going to carry it, there needs to be a certain level of communication and understanding between you and everything and individual connected to you, where they have the understanding that you stand in a position where you are not moved, you are not shaken. You let them know straightforward, I am a man or woman of God. I am somebody who understands my authority and my power. And if you are in my life and you're going to be connected to me, you have to be able to take a command, because when God gives me revelation, when God gives me a certain understanding, when God gives me spiritual wisdom and guidance, and he is leading me, and I hear what he is saying because I have an ear to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to the church. When I hear what God is saying and I say, this is the answer, I need for you to get on board, because if you cannot get on board, then God is not calling you to be with me. If you cannot get on board, then you cannot be connected to me. If you may be called to be with me, but you can't get on board, I'm going to have to pray or do something, because I can't risk or jeopardize you being connected to me and me carrying a certain level of responsibility within this connection, within this relationship, within this business opportunity, within whatever it is that God has given me. And you put me in a position where I cannot be successful with what I am carrying. Are you with me? So I must understand the power of my ability to command. How do I get to a place where I have the ability to command everything that is connected to me the way that God would desire for me to command it? with righteous commands. I must first reflect righteousness so that I can gain the trust for those individuals that I am supposed to be commanding, for the things that I am supposed to be commanding, for the things that I am carrying to come into alignment, because I have showed and proven that I am solidified in my position of leadership. Now, sometimes the reality of it is that even when you are solidified, other individuals will fall into their flesh. The people that are connected to you, they will fall into their flesh. And even though they know you are solidified in your leadership and that they should be listening to your command, the truth is that they go through their own things. They go through their own trials. And sometimes, regardless of you being solidified, it will be different times and different moments and different seasons where they might operate in the lack of ability to be commanded. And you have to be able to then tap into your prayer life, go into talking to God, go into seeking his face and getting the wisdom on what to do in that situation. Because it may not be that God intends for you to disconnect from them. It may be that God needs for you to do something else, but you have to seek his face for those answers. Because if you allow it to go undealt with, if you allow for it to continue on and you are never standing right in front of it, dealing with it face to face, acknowledging it and holding them accountable for it, then now you will create a space for something that should not be going on to go on. And once you allow dysfunction, once you allow a lack of command to continue on free willy-nilly all day long, every day, then now you are putting yourself in a position not to be successful. Are you with me? What else? Point number 2. You have to choose people who can take commands. You have to be able to be a good fisher of men. You have to be able to yourself be in tune enough. See, I can never see who I am supposed to have connected to me lest I be first in a position where I am connected to the one who gives me the sight. Oh, you're not following what I'm saying. See, I can't just go out in a boat, throw my rod into the water anywhere and think that I am going to be a great fisherman. See, there is skills, there is tactic, there is strategy in the same way as how we deal with our involvements and our relationships and our opportunities that we step into that God gives for us to carry, or the call on our life that is calling for us to carry certain things and certain individuals in our life. We must have the ability to be strategic in our choosing. Are you choosing somebody because of your flesh? Are you choosing certain things because of your own personal desires? Are you connecting to people out of things that do not align with the will of God? Because if you are, but then stand in a position where you complain and become frustrated that you cannot command the things that you are carrying, then maybe you should try shifting yourself out of your flesh, get over into your spirit and start saying, okay, God, who is it that you want connected to me? God, who is it that I am supposed to be involved with? God, what is it I am supposed to be connected to? What am I supposed to be doing? Give me clarity on it so I can have understanding, because I know you're calling me to be a leader, and anything that I lead, I have to have a certain command over. And if I cannot command it, then am I really qualified as a good leader? A lot of people will know how qualified you are, how good of a leader that you are, based on your ability to have the people that you are commanding, to have the things that you are commanding in order and in line following your instruction. If I come and I see that the things and the people that you are carrying, that God intends for you to have a certain level of righteous command over, do not respect you, and you cannot have a level of command, then now I am not looking at them as foolish. I am looking at you and saying to myself, does this person lack a certain level of maturity and authority or capacity to be able to lead and command? Are you getting what I'm saying? Sometimes your ability, or you being seen as a certified leader, you being seen as a certified stepper, you being seen as somebody who is respected in a position of authority the way that God has commanded and called for you to be is predicated off of people's perception. See, you know what God has called you to, but looking from the outside in, people's perception of whether or not you are a qualified leader is only based off what they can see. And if what they can see is individuals and things that are connected to you, not respecting you, not being able to be commanded by you, then people will look at you as if something is wrong. So you have to be careful not to put yourself in a situation where other people's perception will allow for them to be free willy-nilly with you, where they feel they can mishandle you, where they feel that they can come and say anything to you, where they feel that they can do as they please as it pertains to you, and you have no principle, no moral, no integrity, and no boundary. Because what they see from other people who you have not discerned or sensed but allowed to become connected to you is them disrespecting you. Are you getting what I'm saying? Point number 3. Oh, this is going to be good. You have to be commendable to those who carry you. See, God gives us things to carry, and he gives us people and responsibilities within those connections and relationships for us to carry. But we also, in the same way, are to be carried by individuals qualified to carry us. Oh, you not getting what I'm saying. There are people that are further along down the path to purpose and destiny than you are. And God will connect people to you who are wiser than you, who are more spiritual than you, who are more successful than you, who are further along than you, that got more connections than you. And his desire will be to use them to carry you into your next, to carry you to your next level, to carry you into your season of abundance. But if you are not somebody who can actually be commendable, then there will be no purpose or no point in God connecting them to you. Sometimes the reason for why we have not found certain relationships that will help us get through certain doors is because God knows we do not have the humility to be commendable. We are always used to being in charge. We are always used to commanding. We are the ones who want to dictate. We are the ones who want to create the rules, but we don't know how to shut our mouth. We don't know how to open up our ears. We don't know how to follow instruction. We don't know how to be commendable. We don't know how to sit back, calm down, put the pride to the side, and do what it is that we are being instructed to do by the person that God has connected us to. We sit up and we want to complain and we want to whine about there never being any change. But has there first been internal change? Because if you are not commendable, why would God connect you to somebody who is supposed to carry you into your next if you can't follow their instruction? So you yourself not only have to be a good steward over what God has given you to carry for you to command, but you must also be a good steward over yourself, not allowing yourself to operate in pride, not allowing yourself to operate in narcissism, not allowing yourself to miss out on your blessing. See, the devil tricks you by keeping you in your flesh. You got to come on over. This is tug of war. I can't be fighting all day long. I got to pick a side. So I got to come on over to the righteous side and let God do what he want to do in me. Because if I have the heart posture of humility, then guess what? I will be able to be commendable. I will be able to be a good servant. I will be able to learn things that will qualify me for the next stages and phases of my life. Everybody wants to grow and everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to have a great marriage. Everybody wants to have a good car. But can you be taught? Can you be commendable? Are you teachable? Can you follow instruction? Because there is things that people gonna have to tell you in order for you to learn to be able to sustain on the next level. And if you cannot listen, and if you feel that you need to always be the one in command, then you are going to miss your opportunity to go up. Are you with me? So you have to make sure that you are commendable. You are somebody who, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what your emotions are telling you, you are not too prideful. You are not too emotional. You are not too arrogant to close your mouth, get instruction, and then reflect that you have the understanding through application. Are you getting me? This is for your benefit and what God wants to do through you and in you and with you and for you to then bring glory back to Him. You got me? Last point, point number 4. Being commendable is not a slight on your authority. Oh, here we go. This is going to be good. Being commendable is not a slight on your authority, but rather a light that shines on your maturity and your strength. We live in a society right now where if you got to take some commands, you feel that it shows weakness. We live in a society where if somebody has to get the understanding that somebody has a certain level of control or authority or command over them, they feel as though they are being belittled. They feel as though they are less than. To sit back, have to shut your mouth, open your ears, open your eyes, learn, be teachable, be coachable, and take a command also that God could get you to where it is that He wants for you to be, and in turn that you desire to be. All of it is to work out for the good of those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. And you love Him and you're called. So this is all for your benefit. But because we live in a day and time where flesh is consuming everybody, carnality is at the forefront of the mind of believers and non-believers. There are too many people who want to call themselves Christians, but you can't take no command. The whole premise of Christianity is based off of following the instruction of someone greater than ourselves. But yet we sit back and we act like God can't put people in our lives who are actually greater than us. They are further than us. Let me bring forth the reality to you. Baby, there is somebody that is walking this earth that God is going to use to help get you into your next, that right now is greater than you in the earth, that is more anointed, that is more powerful, that is more established, and you gotta accept it, learn so that you can go up. But if you are not coachable, if you sit back and you act like you can't never take a command because you think it is a slight on your strength, then you will constantly stay in a position of stagnation, going round and round and round and round and round. Hello, children of Israel, in a circle for no reason when you could have got exactly where God needed for you to be a long time ago. Stop missing the mark because you can't renew your heart. Stop missing the mark because you can't change the way that you deal with things. Stop missing the mark because you want to operate out of emotionalism, trauma, PTSD, and all other things that God says you have the power over. Because every single time that you act like you ain't got no value, you ain't got no power, you ain't got no authority, because you have to obey a command that is supposed to benefit your life. Whether you can see how it's going to benefit or not. Hello, faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I can't see it. That's the point of faith. Hello, somebody. Can somebody talk to me? Hello. That is the point of faith. I have to be able to trust in the God, in the person that is carrying me to my next level. Don't put your trust in man, put your trust in God. But when I know God is operating on the inside of you, I'm not putting my trust in you. I'm putting my trust on the God in you. Because I can see the fruits of the Spirit produced from the God on the inside of you. You're not getting what I'm saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. That's good. That's good. That is good. Are you following me? I got to get myself to a place where I say me following a command, me being somebody that is commendable, does not make me devoid of strength. but rather it is a light that shines in the earth to all of those who can lay their eyes on me, that I do not think higher of myself than I ought to, that I am somebody who really has strength, that really has power, that really has authority, because my silence and my humility is a reflection of my confidence. I know who I am. I know who God made me to be. I don't gotta always talk and be in command when I already understand who God made me to be. This is one of the biggest problems in society today. Don't nobody really know who they are. Can y'all open up y'all Bible and get an understanding of exactly who it is that God says that you are? And then maybe you will go further along in life because you will make a decision to be commendable. Because don't nobody want to come and help somebody who can't take orders. Don't nobody want to come and do nothing with nobody who can't take instruction. Don't nobody want to come and partner with nobody in any context, in any form of life, who cannot handle a command. I gotta be humble enough to be able to take a command. If you my friend, I need you to be able to take a command. If you my wife, you got to take a command. If you my homeboy, if you my teammate, if you are anybody connected to me, you got to be able to take a command. Because one of the main things that come with partnership, in order for success to be produced, is sacrifice. There is no success without sacrifice. And what is sacrifice? It is putting myself to the side. What I feel, what I think, my opinions, and stepping out on faith into something with the understanding that this by faith is going to get me further than where I am right now. So I'm going to die to myself, die to my flesh, all of my little feelings. I'm going to get it all out the way. I'm going to humble myself under the mighty hand of God. And I'm going to carry myself with the fruits of the Spirit like he has told me to, and anybody who he has connected me to that is supposed to carry me into my next by way of God's grace and mercy, and him having favor on my life and putting these different individuals in my life to help carry me into what he has for me. I'm going to shut my mouth, humble myself, understand that I am strong, I am powerful, because I understand that God calls me his child. So the fact that God calls me his child means that it is so, because anything that God says is so. It cannot be changed. So I understand that I in the earth am a constant. Nobody can do away with me. Nobody can turn they back on me and make me feel bad. Nobody can do me wrong and me feel like I'm the problem. Nobody can do anything to take away my understanding and my truth and the reality and the factuality that I am exactly who God says that I am. And because I have that knowledge, because I have that awareness, because I operate in that level of wisdom and clarity, because I know that that is my truth, because I genuinely trust and have faith that what God says in his word is the reality, then I am somebody who now can put myself to the side because I ain't even worried about it because I know who I am. So as soon as I need to take a command, I'm going to reflect that I am commendable because I got something I'm going after in my life, in my future that I can't see yet, that I'm not fully prepared for yet, but I know if I take a command, it'll get me qualified for it. It'll get me ready for it. It'll teach me what I need to know to have it. I will be able to get to it in the time that God intends for me to get to it because I'm humble enough to listen and then grow so I can step into what it is that God has for my life. So I need a declaration and a decree from this day forward. That's it. Points over. I need a declaration and a decree, though, from this day forward that I, state your name, CJ Stokely, am going to be a good commander that reflects the righteousness of God in my command. I am going to be a good steward in commanding what I carry. And I am also going to be humble enough, silent enough, wise enough, and have ears to hear enough to be commendable so that I can get to what it is that God has for my life. If you said that, I'm holding you to it. That is the standard. That is how we are doing things going forward. We are going to command and we're going to be commandable. We're going to step up to the plate, be the leaders we are called to be, command what we carry. No ifs, ands, no buts. If people don't like you because they don't want to take commands, get rid of them. I said it. Get rid of them. If people who are supposed to be commanding you, that can bring you into a next level, whether it be internally or externally, that can bring you into a next level, you choose to be commendable. Because your growth, your success must continue, because there is more that is waiting. There is greater that is waiting. Put your pride to the side. All of what's unrighteous inside, because the time for letting it slide, I'm trying to think of another word around with it, has been denied. Oh, dang, I tapped my thing. Don't be quiet. You get what I'm saying? So, all right, that's it for this episode. I hope that it blessed you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something from it. I hope you understand the power of commanding and being commandable, commanding what you carry, and then understanding that sometimes people carry you and you must be commandable in order to be successful and in order to be the leader that God is calling for you to be. So that's it. I love you. God bless you. And as we always end this, you are always the more, and you have never been and will never be the lesser. And we, you big dog, you Miss Lady, you king, you queen, and me, your boy, CJ Stokely, we are Fourth Quarter Pressure. God bless you. I will see you on Thursday so we can do what we do. You hear me? 4QP family! This is a call to action. I need for you all who are blessed, who are impacted, who get motivation, inspiration, knowledge, and wisdom from this movement. I need for you to step up to the plate and show support. I need for you to donate so that I can keep doing what it is that you enjoy me doing, what it is that God called me to do for you. But this has to be a community. I cannot do this all alone. I need for you all to chip in, to pitch in, to put some skin in the game so that this movement can sustain, maintain, and keep progressing so that this movement and this ministry can expand. There are so many more souls, so many more lives that need to be impacted, that need to hear what God is saying. And in order to do that, there has to be financial support so that it can push the ministry forward. So please, if you have not already, all of those watching, all of those viewing, all of those supporting, all of those being ministered to, please go over to Cash App at $. This is 4QP. Again, on Cash App at $. This is 4QP, so we can keep doing what we do, because you already know we are always the more and never the lesser. And we, you and me, we are Fourth Quarter Pressure. Appreciate the support.